I actually felt better balanced mentally when I stopped seeing. Because I'm not paid, na, so you have to really find out headlines like तापसी ने गुस्सा दिखाया, तापसी ने अग्रेशन, तापसी ने क्या किया, मेरा दरवाजा बंद करने दो, प्लीज मुझे मेरा दरवाजा बंद करने दो, प्लीज मुझे मेरा दरवाजा बंद करने दो. That's all I'm saying. And then, or you're shoving the cameras into me and asking me for an opinion on something that's totally not related to the event I have come on. And just because I don't have bodyguards to push you away, you take the liberty of physically violating my physical space, which is not right. So yeah, as I said, I am not an actor who's made to perform in front of paparazzi camera.
I am insecure. I get insecure every other day, but I deal with them by accepting it. Yes, it's making me feel this way. I don't want to hide it. Because then I'll be like, अरे हाँ अच्छा किया था, लेकिन वो एक जैसा ही कर रहा है, ये कर रहा है, वो सब ऐसे बकवास करते हैं हम लोग. हाँ, हम लोग बहुत बकवास करते हैं. मैंने भी किया हुआ है. I'm jealous sometimes. I look at Rajkumar's career and I'm like, I wish I had his career. I'm jealous and I've told him this. That's my way of dealing with it. It's like, you know, it's rather than hearing कि अरे तेरे बारे में ऐसे बात कर रहा था. I a very popular casting director, I told him that I think you're a C.
मेरी ऑडियंस ने नहीं देखी है, 100%. तो मैं इसलिए एक फैंटास्टिक स्क्रिप्ट को ना बनाऊं क्योंकि भाई मैं तो पहले होनी चाहिए, वरना तो मैं करूंगी नहीं. मतलब what is this ego? I don't understand. If it's a good script, rather than presenting a mediocre original content, 100%. I will present a fantastic adaptation or a remake. I have no ego hassles in that.
Hello everyone, I'm Rudrani and welcome to Speak Easy. My guests today are extremely talented. Well, they might be doing a movie called Blurr, but I must tell you, they have razor-sharp focus and vision. I'm talking about the talented Taapsee Pannu and Gulshan Devaiah. Hello.
मेरा तो चश्मा लग गया अभी, but
नहीं, मैं तो सर्जरी करा ली थी लेजर वाली.
करा ली आपने?
मैंने 8 साल पहले ही करा ली थी.
And it's like good. मैं भी करा लूँ. You think it's a good?
I recommend.
Yeah, one ophthalmologist told me. Don't get it done.
We have decided that we will take this medium to decide life decisions like laser surgery because
दिल्ली में करवाई है मुंबई में? हैदराबाद में.
हमारे ट्विटर के एक्सपर्ट यहाँ बैठे हैं, तो I will agree with me.
ट्विटर के एक्सपर्ट. I'm a troll.
You're an expert troll.
I'm a troll.
Expert troll.
I'm a troll with a conscience.
He's a very funny troll.
I'm a troll with a conscience. मैं ऐसे वैसे ट्रोल नहीं करता. मैं बहुत लिमिटेड तरीके से ट्रोल करता हूँ.
भगवान ऐसे ट्रोल सबको दे.
हर ट्रोल ऐसा बने. Because I'm not a bot, ना. I'm not like.
Yeah, I like that troll.
But Gulshan's funny. Not many trolls are. Nasty is not being funny.
That's exactly why I said सबको ऐसे troll
मिलने चाहिए. And if you don't
चाहिए.
think I'm funny, you check out my Twitter bio.
Listen.
Because I am saying I'm funny. मैं खुद ही बोल देता हूँ ना. आप कौन होते हो बोलने वाले?
Exactly. We have decided.
तुम बोलोगे मैं कौन हूँ?
हमने decide कर लिया है. Gulshan is a very funny expert troll. We'll start by what they've said. They said another remake. Can we go ahead and also discuss how difficult it is to originally adapt something and try to make it do something more? And because you've done this in the past, and you know the first thing they point out is, हाँ अलग कर रहे हो पर वही तो कर रहे हो जो already है.
Should I let my ego come in between a good script?
100% not.
Yeah. So should I not do a good script just because वो किसी और country में किसी और time पे या किसी और state में किसी और time पे बनी हुई है?
Absolutely.
मेरी audience ने नहीं देखी है.
100%.
तो मैं इसलिए एक fantastic script को ना बनाऊं क्योंकि भाई मैं तो पहले होनी चाहिए, वरना तो मैं करूँगी नहीं. मतलब what is this ego? I don't understand. If it's a good script, rather than presenting a mediocre original content,
100%.
I will present a fantastic adaptation or a remake. I have no ego hassles in that.
I love that.
Okay, so I want to do good content and I'm very greedy about doing good films, and if someone has already made it, wow, kudos to you, but
Yeah.
I also want to do it.
100%.
So,
and why not?
And why not? So इसलिए अगर अच्छी फिल्म बनी है, and I remember my dad had told me long time back, because I've been caught cheating so many times because I'm not a good cheater. So it's like नकल के लिए ना अकल चाहिए होती है.
That's true. That is so true.
So if that is what sails your boat, understanding it this way, then be it.
हमारे expert, I think that's a good answer.
Funny troll. Yes, आप क्या बताना चाहेंगे? आप कुछ.
मेरी टिप्पणी हमेशा ट्रेंड्स पे है कि लोग ना ब्लाइंडली फॉलो करते हैं. तापसी के हिसाब से तापसी की पर्सपेक्टिव करेक्ट ही है, एंड आई कंप्लीटली एग्री विद दैट. बट वी कैन आल्सो हैव अ सेंस ऑफ बैलेंस, यू नो. ओरिजिनल कंटेंट को मतलब ये क्या होता है सडनली, दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम विद थिंग्स दैट आर ट्रेंडिंग आल्सो, हैशटैग ट्रेंड आल्सो. everything becomes really popular and gives this one-sided viewpoint कि ऐसा ही है, सब साउथ के रीमेक बन रहे हैं, सब रीमेक बन रहे हैं, सब यही हो रहा है, सब वही हो रहा है. हाँ, मतलब 4-5 फिल्में जो सदर्न लैंग्वेजेस में आए हैं, उन्होंने बहुत अच्छा बिजनेस किया. ये इंडियन सिनेमा के लिए बहुत बड़ी बात है. लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि सब खत्म हो गया, इन्होंने टेक ओवर कर लिया, ऐसा नहीं है. बट परसेप्शन वही बनता है, जो 1-2 हफ्ते वो परसेप्शन चलता है, वैसे ही होता है. रीमेक्स के बारे में ऐसा ही है. आई डू फील कि ये परसेप्शन एक लेवल पे जो मेकर्स होते हैं, जो प्रोड्यूसर्स होते हैं, उनको अफेक्ट कर सकता है. एंड दे आर ब्लाइंडली फॉलोइंग अ ट्रेंड. मेरे को इससे तकलीफ होती है कि ट्रेंड फॉलो मत करो. इफ यू ट्रूली फाइंड समथिंग दैट यू कनेक्ट विथ, लाइक हाउ शी इज सेइंग शी कनेक्टेड विथ अ गुड स्क्रिप्ट, इट डजंट मैटर इफ इट्स अ रीमेक और इफ इट्स एन ओरिजिनल, एज लॉन्ग एज यू थिंक दैट नो, दिस इज ग्रेट, वी नीड टू मेक दिस.
एंड पहले भी रुद्रानी years back they used to get made
100%.
बट वो फ्री मेक्स होती थी.
हाँ.
वो सिर्फ चुपके से उठा लिया आइडिया विदाउट गिविंग द राइट क्रेडिट. बनती उतनी परसेंटेज ऑफ फिल्म्स रीमेक और अडेप्टेशंस थी पहले भी, वो ऑफिशियली ओन अप नहीं करते थे. अभी हम लीगली और एकदम मतलब अच्छे से कर रहे हैं ऑफिशियली, बिना मतलब चीप हुए. तो अब लोग सडनली लाइक ओ कैसे नहीं, तुम ऐसे नहीं, तुम. मैंने ठीक है, फिर तुम मीडियोकर कंटेंट देखो, मैं तो अच्छा ही कंटेंट करना चाहती हूँ.
बट इन्होंने अपनी अगली फिल्म एज अ प्रोड्यूसर ओरिजिनल कंटेंट बनाया.
हाँ, दैट इज ओरिजिनल. मेरी इस साल की 4 फिल्में जो रिलीज हुई थी, उसमें से व्हेन आई डिड रन अराउंड, पीपल वर लाइक अरे ये तो फिर रीमेक. मैंने कहा रीमेक 20 साल पुरानी फिल्म कैसे रीमेक हो सकती है? यू हैव टू चेंज इट एंड अडैप्ट इट
to the current time.
Yeah.
Also, this interview obviously is going to come post the release, but we will still try to not give you any spoilers. So I'm going to, keeping that in mind, I'm going to discuss a few things. Very interesting actors and directors about the ending of a thriller, the cliffhangers. And there are always multiple ends to what they decide. Were there multiple endings? And did you all go with some that towards the end of it?
I have nothing to do with this. इतना मैं बता रहा हूँ. Simple answer है. I have nothing to do with
I love this.
No, this was the only ending.
Okay, this is the only ending.
This was the only ending thought of and executed with no digression of any sort from any stakeholder in it. Like everybody was in sync with the idea of having the same ending.
How do you balance and walk that line?
That
Right?
is when you just listen to your director and don't watch the monitors.
But as an actor yourself, are you sort of, critiquing yourself, knowing you?
All the time. I've never said that I've loved my performance
Correct,
fully
exactly
in
why
any film. And while doing that, so I have literally no clue, because I'm so dependent on the directors to say okay, not okay. So much so that if my director asks me, okay, do you want to do one more just for the sake of fun or something different? I'm like, no, unless until you tell me which direction do I need to go to or what you missed in this take, I will not know what to do in the new take. So I'm very, very director dependent actor. So I literally, you can say, blindly go with what my director wants out of me.
And this is my question for the both of you, because when it's about a physically challenged person, in any way, any part where that is, I feel like there is a tendency in a lot of films to make them seem victorious toward the end, but also make them seem extremely bichara. That poor thing. I think it in the process of showing empathy, you also pity them a lot. I felt like this character though was, of course, never in that direction.
I think that basically means you're not taking care of characters for granted, or your characters are not there to serve one character. When every character has a spine and a reason for existence of his or her own, and it's not just conceptualized to serve one character, is when you see that happen in films. And I think the new age writing is a lot about that now.
And which is great, right?
Because yeah.
It really depends on what the storyteller is trying to put across and how sincere and honest they are in the way they are going about it.
Yeah.
Of course, there are tricks. जैसे actors के भी tricks होते हैं, cinema के tricks होते हैं, writing के भी tricks होते हैं. Sometimes you want to evoke a certain emotion out of people. Yeah. But if it's done for the sake of, say for example, if you do anything just to sort of garner only sympathy, हाँ बुरा लगेगा. So that's insincere. Like for example, there are certain films. I remember watching a play, and all the people who were acting in the play were enacting stuff that happened in their life, and they were very horrible incidents. And I felt very forced to like it. I was like, you're taking away my freedom to not like it, because I know this has happened to him.
So you
and then when they are crying, remembering and enacting that horrible incident that happened to them, I know this really happened to them. So I have sympathy, empathy, all of those things. But I also feel as an audience that you've taken my right today, I didn't like it.
To critique it honestly, exactly what I was going with.
And there's a specific reason why I am mentioning this also, because it's relevant to the current
Today's time,
atmosphere and
100%.
we are living in.
100%.
The audience should always have the right. So sometimes there are these people who will put in those things to evoke that sympathy and things like that. That's dishonest. It's a trick. One should stay away. One should be responsible enough to sort of not indulge in that thing. And Blurr is not about that. It's about. I mean, it does have a point to make. It does very sort of. It brings to
very
light
strange
certain
incidents.
things. It also sees the perspective and doesn't see also. It sees and doesn't see from Gayatri's perspective. The film plays out that way. I don't want to get too much attention for like in this way. So, मैंने थोड़ा ऐसे googly.
No, but I think it was wonderful. Thank you. Exactly. And point made, like
That's
I said.
my Twitter basically. This is how I am, but not
Now
so
you see,
serious.
Everything comes back to his Twitter.
So, and because of Twitter, I said, she's the one who's straight up, so then, you have cases filed here. Here, cases don't get filed because, well, you see.
They're googly.
That is why the expert troll. You should do a crash course from Gulshan.
नहीं,
अरे
नहीं,
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 I'm
कुछ
a
नहीं
fan
है, she's fine.
follower of his Twitter handle.
She follows me on Twitter, तो वो बहुत बड़ी बात है मेरे लिए.
I enjoy so much.
अरे ये retweet कर देती है तो मैं 3-4 दिन तक I'm pulling out, I'm
अरे
pulling
वो
out
I
from all
enjoy
over
reading
my
his
body
social
parts और
media.
पीछे से निकाल रहा हूँ trolls. ऐसे.
Very rarely we have people who are more than about just spreading toxicity on Twitter. So he's one of them. Even though he'll troll, I'm like, I would love to have trolls like him. Yeah, at least they evoke some kind of fun and humor. I don't mind critiquing. I don't mind people not liking me. भगवान भी सबको पसंद नहीं करवा पाए.
मैंने तापसी को भी troll किया है. इनको भी
I don't remember because I don't even see it as a troll.
इतना troll करता हूँ याद थोड़ी ना होता.
Oh God, the challenges of
I also don't know because I probably never saw it as a troll.
एक बार तो है कि इन्होंने कुछ retweet किया था and then मैं वही 3-4 दिन तक I was pulling trolls out of my ass. So I'm like, oh, आपने retweet कर दिया क्या? इसलिए IT cell घुसा हुआ है. So every time, so if Taapsee retweets it, of course the reach is much, and वो घंटियाँ भी ज़्यादा बचती हैं.
That's true.
घंटियाँ भी मैं noted नहीं हूँ ना. She's noted. Somebody has made a note.
Underline and note.
Noted नहीं हूँ. तो ये तो ऐसे थोड़ा.
Are you excited to watch Taapsee Pannu in Blurr? Gulshan came in and said, very excited. I am also there in the film.
See, that's the thing. It's the truth also. It's also a little bit of sarcasm, but she is terrific in the film, man. That's the truth. So you have to know कि सच क्या है ये थोड़ा बहुत है, but
that's what I love this the humor on Twitter brought to us courtesy Gulshan Devaiah's handle. Please follow him.
I just follow. मेरे गुरु बाबा सहगल का मैं शिष्य हूँ और साइरस ब्रोचा लोग हैं.
But if you say one word right now to paparazzi outside, what do you think will happen? What has been happening?
I don't have to even say anything.
Yeah.
या मैंने पैकेजेस नहीं खरीदे हैं. As simple as that. मैंने नहीं पैकेजेस खरीदे कि मेरे नाम पे इतने पोस्ट एक दिन में या एक महीने में एक हफ्ते में होने चाहिए. मैंने नहीं दिए पैसे यार. And I'm an actor who performs in front of the movie camera, not in front of paparazzi camera, and have a life beyond being an actor. All these things are the reason why I don't like when someone intrudes my physical space. When you hold the door of my car and don't let me shut it when I want to go, that's intrusion. That's not right at so many levels. I can go and file a case against you actually. But okay, I'm just asking you to leave it and let me go. And then you use that because I'm not paid, so you have to really find out headlines like तापसी ने गुस्सा दिखाया, तापसी ने aggression, तापसी ने क्या किया, मेरा दरवाजा बंद करने दो, प्लीज मुझे मेरा दरवाजा बंद करने दो, प्लीज मुझे मेरा दरवाजा बंद करने दो. That's all I'm saying. And then, or you're shoving the cameras into me and asking me for an opinion on something that's totally not related to the event I have come on. And just because I don't have bodyguards to push you away, you take the liberty of physically violating my physical space, which is not right. So yeah, as I said, I am not an actor who's made to perform in front of paparazzi camera. I am acting in front of movie cameras, and I only want you to judge me basis that.
Yeah.
Fair point. Yeah.
Fair point.
Listen.
Of course. Because you said that, I wonder, have you really thought about getting like, bodyguards and stuff? Because of this entire thing. Because you said
my
I
team
don't.
keeps telling me this, that you should get bodyguards, and it's high
That's
time.
because you do get a lot of threats.
Yeah,
for real.
so
It's scary.
so they keep asking me that, but I like to not have that idea that I am someone who needs to be guarded and protected all the time, because it will just keep disconnect me from reality. Is why I want to really live a regular life beyond pack up. Is why I want to stay away from a lot of these things that will constantly make you feel like you are somebody in the public eye. I don't want people to push people aside from me when I'm walking on road. I want to see the and feel the reality. It helps me grow as a human being eventually, right? And that helps me eventually perform also like a real
100%,
person.
100%.
So this is for my own personal growth. I don't want to make these walls around me. And yeah, the repercussions are what they are. So initially it used to bother me as to, because people like you and a lot of others who've been constantly asking me this question know me for years and know the kind of person I am
100%.
and definitely have a different opinion from what is portrayed. I had to disconnect myself and then I distant myself from them, because it used to bother me initially, like just because I don't pay you, you paint this picture of mine in front of people that I am inaccessible, when I'm probably one of the most accessible people, because I don't really have those kind of walls around me.
100%.
So yeah, but I think I've given up on the idea of pleasing everyone. I'm not a people pleaser.
How liberating is that?
Yeah, I'm not a people pleaser. I love my job. I don't ask you to take. I don't take my audience for granted.
100%.
So just I'm gonna work hard for the work I do. You like my work, I think then I can probably ask you to send across your love. If you don't like my work, then please don't dislike me. But just basis my work, not basis how someone portrays me in public eye.
Here also is like that only. I've known Gulshan for a while as well, and there is a certain amount of security that he has to stay in an industry. He's one of the most talented actors that we have, right? It also is very difficult in the industry to be this level of secure. Tell me, how have you managed to balance that?
By accepting my insecurities.
You have?
Yeah, you have to be truthful to yourself. Even if you don't speak out, you don't have to necessarily talk about it to other people. But then you have to. If you are, I'm jealous. Sometimes I look at Rajkumar's career and I was like, I wish I had his career. I'm jealous, and I've told him this. That's my way of dealing with it. It's like, it's rather than hearing कि अरे तेरे बारे में ऐसे बात कर रहा था. I a very popular casting director. I told him that I think you're a C. Like before you hear what other people say, it's better. I know that at that particular point is probably unpleasant, but then if you can find a way to be very sincere and honest to the way you're saying that, then it's good. So I am insecure. I get insecure every other day, but I deal with them by accepting it. Yes, it's making me feel this way. I don't want to hide it, because then I'll be like, अरे हाँ अच्छा किया था, लेकिन वो एक जैसा ही कर रहा है, ये कर रहा है, वो सब ऐसे बकवास करते हैं हम लोग. हाँ, हम लोग बहुत बकवास करते हैं. मैंने भी किया है. And then I catch myself like, what are you doing? You're doing the same thing that you hate other people, that you hear other people bitching about somebody else, and you don't like it, and you are doing the same thing. Why should you do this? Stop doing this. So yeah, I'm insecure. Yeah, it's a tough business. Yeah. You want things you don't get most of the time. Most of the time you don't get what you want.
100%.
Most of the time you never get what you want. But that's our life. And then if I have to be able to successfully negotiate to the process of living my life as an actor, then I have to figure out how do I keep myself sane. I don't want to lose my shit when I'm like 50, 60 or something like that, and point fingers and say these people didn't do that.
When you were trying to do, I know that you have gone into the mode, you have obviously sort of tried to do it in darkness and all of that. Did that happen to you? Did you feel what happens when you can't completely see, and how your other parts of your brain become active and how you maneuver yourself through all of that?
I realize that.
Yeah.
Your other senses become heightened, because for hours I used to sit with that blindfold, all those lenses
Correct.
on. And it's too tiresome to keep removing, putting it back and all that. So I just stayed with that. And it does heighten. And
You could
actually,
hear him bitching about you and all of that?
I could hear a lot more. No, not him bitching. He
just
used to come and start clicking my pictures in the most awkward angles.
I have a special talent. Before she finishes, like, because you should know about the process. मैं अपना बकवास बीच में डाल देता हूँ जल्दी. I have a special talent. I take the shittiest pictures of Taapsee Pannu. Nobody can take bad pictures of her, because ये इतनी खूबसूरत है कि इसको कहीं से भी shoot कर लो. Her and Deepika Padukone, I think like you can shoot them from everywhere, and my friend Kalki also.
Oh yeah, Kalki.
इधर से भी कुछ भी डाल दो, ऐसे कोई भी डब्बा कैमरा, कुछ भी घटिया सा कैमरा में भी अच्छी तस्वीरें आती हैं. सिवाय मेरे हाथों के I take the most like flattering, the least flattering photos of तापसी पन्नू भर के है मेरे phone पे मैं डाल नहीं रहा
very
हूँ
scared. मेरा काम वाम चला जाएगा लग रहा है.
डाल में रहा हूँ प्रोड्यूसर है ना तो थोड़ा
Maybe next.
See, I'm playing the game now.
Yeah,
Producer है ना.
producer, so you're scared. Have you intimidated him by using your production?
Oh,
by
totally.
being the
She's very
producer?
Bullshit
intimidating.
only, yeah.
She's very
No.
Please do not
I
intimidate
was that लड़की
अरे
वाले.
सॉरी वॉरी बोलो है मुझसे
I was a लड़की वाले on the set, just making
हाँ
sure
ऐसे
that he's.
घुटनों पे जाओ सॉरी बोलो एंड ऑल दिस थिंग
What nonsense.
तलवे चाटो
I feel really bad. This is extremely
Chato.
wrong. It's really song. You know, you started with outsider films, and this is how you do.
This is what I
The
do.
real outsider.
अरे सब बकवास है एवरीबॉडी सब बोलते हैं ये सब सबको वही चाहिए
Joke.
No, I was a
सबको वही
very,
चाहिए।
I was a very conscious producer, which is not right. I'm still learning.
Why? Tell me why conscious you said.
Because you feel like that लड़की वाला who wants to say नमक तो ठीक था खाने में आप ठीक से सोए कि नहीं. Subconsciously, you tend to feel like everybody should be okay. Because एक तो I've worked for 10 years in different industries in good and bad circumstances of production. So I know how bad can feel for the cast and crew.
Correct.
So I always am very extra conscious of not doing that bad to my cast and crew. So I always am extra conscious of like if everything is okay, which is not right.
Mehman Nawazi
Which is not right when you are an actor on set. So, though I didn't have to, because Pranjal has done a fantastic job being that hands-on producer, my partner. He is so good at handling it, but subconsciously I just couldn't help. Sometimes I used to just get very stressed about if everything is okay, though everything was. I didn't have to. But that is not a good feeling. So I decided after this, I said, this is not a great experience. I will try to stay away from producing the films I'm acting in for as much as possible.
Oh, really? This is not what I thought you'd say. Oh, really?
No, I didn't become producer to make my opportunities for my own
वो मुझे
self.
पता है.
Yeah, so I want to, मतलब मैं किसी और, actually it has happened. There's so many films, sometimes there's so many scripts that I've liked and I've taken it to some other producer. Instead of, I could have easily done it myself.
Yeah, correct.
I took it to someone else because I just didn't want to have
You
that
want to just
stress.
focus on being the actor
Yeah,
on the set.
I just wanted to focus on being the gunda on the set that I am.
Which is good. Which is good, always. But we were discussing about the process. I want to come back to that. So tell me what happened when you put yourself there, and I really want to know if you could do that. Could you hear what happened when you put yourself in that position?
So obviously you can hear better, clearer, because you're focusing more on one less asset that God has given you. So you have heightened senses, other senses are heightened. So my mind used to feel calmer and better. I don't know about, it can be different from any other actor's experience of when they played blind, but I actually felt better balanced mentally when I stopped seeing. I don't know, I suddenly felt like the anxiety or the stress or whatever you can call it, that bothers you is suddenly like,
They're gone.
has gone.
Really?
I actually felt that.
That's fantastic.
So that's why I could actually, initially लगा थोड़ा सा frustrating कि मेरे को दिख नहीं रहा है. But once I told myself, this is how it's going to be, you better accept it, let's just be with it, then I suddenly had this whole relax. So I could just sit there and not really get bothered about not seeing anything.
You were there on the set, of course, besides clicking horrible pictures, which is
jokes.
We also had, because we had limited actors and limited people on set, so we had doubled up everyone's not paychecks, but their roles by being off-camera entertainer.
There's one more off-camera entertainer.
Abhilash was also, abhi to ye baad mein aayega. Abhilash was also an off-camera entertainer.
Gulshan, the caregiver's part, I always feel like when someone's there taking care and all of that, it's a very difficult part. And even as a partner, when you have someone going through it, I feel like while, not a lot of the story has focused on that, but there were elements of it because, no one talks about how you're already feeling guilty that किसी और का problem तुम्हारे problem से इतना बड़ा है. But I think it's a very daunting task because you have to let go of what you feel at that time, which can also affect your relationship and all of that, right? Tell me what you thought of it, because not exactly going in that direction with your...
They both are flawed people to begin with.
100%.
There is one scene that's not in the film, but that we had to leave it out, unfortunately.
So
but it kind of illustrates where she's coming from. Because she's so focused on her anthropology and the work that she wants to do. Anthropology only, na?
Yeah.
And then it's just like, it kind of, when the two of us first meet, you know that, oh, okay, there is something, like they're nice, but then there is something that's a bit like thoda sa imbalance hai and all that. And this is the reality in many people's lives. and how you sort of correct that, or what do you do as a couple or individually to sort of bring back that sense of balance, or it's left to those individuals to figure out. But they are flawed characters, and of course, as the story reveals itself, you will see, you get to learn things about the man, the Neil that I play also. But it's a loving. For some reason, I thought that it's a love story of these two people who were really good together, but then something has happened. They're not able to sort of. They still want to be really good together, and there's potential for this to be a really good thing together, but they're not able to do so.
I almost thought when the cheesy flirting was your idea, the line. I don't know if you can say.
No, that was on.
And I said, why does it sound like Gulshan?
Yeah, no, he just made it his own.
It looked very Gulshan for me. I'm like, आँखों में वाली ना.
वो तो poetry. हाँ. यार मेरे को poetry समझ नहीं आती है.
That's just a good as an actor. बोलेगा मैं.
Maybe I was terrible at as an actor.
But he couldn't understand. But
we are playing with different versions of ourselves. Na, I had generally an easy job here. Like definitely in comparison to everybody else, also I had probably the easiest job as an actor.
Okay, fair enough. You've heard enough. I don't think they are blurry at all, but the film is called Blurr, as you see. They know what they're doing. Something extremely new once again by Taapsee Pannu, and we have the fantastic Gulshan Devaiah. And if you want to laugh after this interview, you should go and follow him on Twitter.
Yeah,
and
please.
You can follow her as well because she is really funny too.
Yeah, you see my interviews, it will be funny, and unless you understand the sense of humor. Which I don't think people do.
That's
so.
okay.
Yeah, that's okay. You can have fun with it. I don't know. I am like this only.
That's fine. That's also okay.
Yeah, no packages intended.
That's also okay.
All right. Thank you so much, and all the very best for Blurr. This is the first film coming out officially.
Yeah.
So break a leg, Taapsee.
Yeah, I'll break a lot of other things.
Oh my God. I hope so.
Data records. Viewership data records.
Shidara Records. Thank you once again.